In solitude he slept, and awoke chosen by the alien queen. Queen Vera's claw struck the throne console. "Hunters, breach the human's chamber. Extract Elia's Cade alive." The command rippled through the throne vault. 12 elite boarders snapped to attention. Their exosuits hummed, blades extended. They charged the corridor seal. Vera watched the feed. The human lingered in his solitude cell, a reinforced pod on the station's fringe. Captured weeks ago from a derelict scout ship. Unbroken, unspeaking. Her seers insisted. He carried the mark of the chosen, her weapon consort, the key to crush the Archon rebellions. The lead hunter slammed a plasma cutter into the pod door. Sparks flew. The corridor pressurized. Alarms screamed. Red lights pulsed. The pod's outer ring clamped shut. Hardlock quarantine engaged. Bulkheads slammed down, sealing the hunters inside the antechamber. Vera leaned forward. "Report!" Static crackled. The lead hunter's voice grated. "Quarantine protocol active, Majesty. Suppressant gas deploying." White mist flooded the feed. Hunters clawed at visors, exosuits locked, bodies slumped. Vera's mandibles clicked. Impossible. The pod's defenses targeted organics only on manual override. The human had triggered it. From inside, she rose. Witnesses assembled, Archon Tazun at her flank, Seer Matriarch Illith chanting validation rites. Court drones hovered, broadcasting empire-wide. "Stand down," Vera commanded the vault guards. "I claim him myself." Tazun's spines bristled. "Majesty, the breach is toxic." She ignored him, pushed past. Her royal harness unlocked the quarantine with a pulse code. Gas hissed around her boots. She strode the misted corridor. Hunters twitched on the deck, neutralized. The pod door loomed, intact. Vera keyed her override, servos whined. The seal parted. Elia's Cade crouched inside, bare-chested. Human skin scarred from old voids, eyes locked on her. No fear, no plea, she lunged. Royal claim collar snapped from her harness. Gold alloy etched with binding runes, irremovable by any but her touch. Witnesses crowded the breached antechamber. Tazun growled. Illith intoned, "The queen selects, the chosen binds." Vera clamped the collar around Elias' neck. Pins pierced skin, runes glowed, the ritual locked. Empire doctrine affirmed, her consort, her weapon, throne secured. Elias' jaw clenched. He bit down, teeth sank into the collar's seal line. Gold crumpled, circuits sparked, vents hissed wide, the collar screamed, high-pitched wail tore the air, runes shattered. Suppressant gas blasted from the breach straight into the witnesses. Tazun reeled, choking. Illith collapsed, visions disrupted, drones shorted out. Vera staggered back. The collar hung loose on Elias' neck, venting protocol into emergency purge. Ritual inverted, claim broken in public feed. Elias spat blood-flecked alloy, stood. Towered over her fallen hunters. Vera's guards surged forward. She raised a claw, halted them. The human met her gaze, silent. The vault fell quiet. Archon Tazun's gauntleted fist locked around Elias' bicep, yanked him forward. Stone floors scraped under boot heels. The throne room sprawled ahead, towering arches, shadowed galleries packed with alien nobility. Hisses rippled through the crowd. Tazun shoved Elias up the dais steps. Momentum slammed him against the queen's throne platform. "Kneel," Tazun snarled. His voice boomed from vocal slits. "Execution law demands it. Defy and I sever your spine." Elias twisted his shoulders, tested the grip. Tazun's claws dug deeper. Alloy plates on the Archon's arm flexed, locked like a vice. Elias scanned the hold, thumb joint exposed, ulnar nerve cluster pulsing under iridescent scales. Standard leverage point, human or not. The crowd leaned in, mandibles clicked. Drones hovered, lenses whirring. Queen Vera perched on her throne, gold harness glinting. Her multifaceted eyes fixed on him, unblinking. Tazun wrenched Elias' arm upward, forced the kneel. "Submit, mammal." Elias dropped his weight, pivoted on his heel. Right hand flashed to Tazun's wrist. Thumb drove into the claw hinge, not a strike, a fulcrum press. Rotated the joint outward. Tazun's elbow hyperextended, grip shattered. His weapon clattered free, a serrated glaive sparking on the stone. Tazun roared, lunged to recover it. Elias sidestepped, slid behind. Left arm hooked Tazun's elbow pit. Right hand gripped the shoulder plate, pulled down while thrusting hips forward. Tazun's mass flipped over Elias' center, crashed face first onto the dais. Elias dropped a knee into the small of the Archon's back, pinned both arms with one forearm crosslock. No punches. No blood, just physics. The throne room froze, nobles recoiled, mandibles gaped, Drone stuttered midair. Tazun thrashed, scales rasped against stone. "Release me, treason!" Elias leaned in. Increased pressure on the nerve cluster. Tazun's limbs locked rigid. "You first." Queen Vera rose, her claws extended. Voice cut the air like crystal. "Enough!" Elias held position, watched her stalk forward, her tail lashed. Hunters flanked the dais, weapons raised. She waved them back, stopped inches from his face. Heat radiated from her plated skin. Scent of ozone and venom. "You break my collar." Her gaze flicked to the mangled gold around his neck. "Now my Archon, yet I see it." She touched his jaw with one claw, traced the blood-flecked teeth marks. "Strength unbound, chosen," murmurs erupted. Tazun bucked. Elias pinned harder, the Archon's growl choked off. Vera turned to the court, raised both arms, runes on her harness ignited. "By imperial decree, Elias Cade is my chosen, weapon consort. No claw touches him, no lash corrects him. Attempted, treason, execution by my hand." Silence crashed down, nobles shifted. Eyes darted. Tazun went limp under Elias, breath hissed through slits. "Release him," Vera commanded. Elias eased off, stood. Tazun rolled away, clutched his arm, glaive forgotten at his feet. The Archon surged up, claws flexed. Vera's tail snapped. "Test me, Tazun." He froze, bowed rigid. "My queen." She ignored him, signaled the shadows. Seer Matriarch Illith glided forward. Veils swirled around her frail form, eyes milky, unseeing. She clutched a crystal orb. Runes pulsed within. "The breach inverted," Illith intoned. Voice echoed unnaturally. "Prophecy demands binding, Oath Ward activates." Elias tensed, stepped back. Illith slammed the orb onto the dais. Light erupted. Threads of energy lashed out, wrapped his ankles, snared Vera's wrists. Pulled them together, walls shimmered. The dais dissolved into a haze. Quarters materialized, opulent cage of silk barriers and glowing wards, forced proximity. No doors, no exits. Elias tested the threads, flexed against them. They hummed, tightened. Vera stood inches away. Her breath synced with his, heat pressed close. Illith's voice faded through the ward. "Sealed until Union, Empire watches." The court vanished. Drones hummed outside the barrier. Eyes peered. Vera circled him. Tail brushed his leg. "You refuse ownership, yet here we stand." "My chosen." Elias met her gaze, scanned the quarters, low ceiling, padded floors, chains dangled from alcoves, ritual tools. He paced the perimeter. Threads followed, limited his reach to arm's length from her. She watched, claws retracted. "Tazun breaks worlds with that hold." "You unraveled it, how?" "Joint mechanics." Elias pressed a ward panel. It sparked, repelled his hand. "Yours lock the same." Her mandibles parted. "Impossible, we are Vexari, engineered for dominance." He shrugged, dropped into a crouch, tested floor give, soft, absorbent. Designed for falls or struggles, Vera approached, invaded his space. "The Oath Ward binds breath to breath, touch to touch, until you yield." Elias rose, towered over her. Scars on his chest caught the ward light. "Yielding isn't in the options." Her claw traced his collar remnant. Sparks jumped. She hissed, withdrew it, skin unmarked beneath. "You bit through alloy forged for stars, pinned Tazun without bruise. What are you?" "Human." He stepped closer. Threads slackened slightly. "Standard procedure." Drones buzzed louder. Court feeds amplified every word. Vera's eyes narrowed. "They hear, they see your defiance. My throne wavers." Elias scanned her harness. Central rune glowed brighter, power source. He reached, threads yanked him back, inches short. She laughed. "Low vibration." "Protected as am I," he nodded, settled against a wall, watched her prowl. The ward pulsed, synced their heartbeats. Thump, thump. Alien rhythm clashed with his steady beat. Tension built. Outside, Tazun's voice barked. "Queen, the human mocks law." Vera stiffened, claws extended. "He is chosen, law bends." Illith chanted, wards thickened, threads warmed. Elias felt the pull subtle drain, fatigue induction. He shook it off, circled opposite her, found a rhythm, step test, retreat. Vera lunged, pinned him to the wall. Strength crushed, threads approved, her face hovered, fangs gleamed. "Yield, bind to me." Elias exhaled slow, used her momentum, slipped a hip under hers, redirected. She stumbled past. Threads snapped taut, pulled her back, face to his chest. She growled, pushed away. "You turn my own ritual." "Physics again." He held ground, watched her recalibrate. The court erupted beyond the ward, shouts, clatters. Tazun pounded a fist. "Break him, prophecy demands." Illith raised her orb. "The Union forms or Empire fractures." Vera whirled. Claws slashed air. "Silence, he is mine." Elias dropped low, waited, she turned back, charged again. This time he sidestepped fully. Threads coiled her legs, tripped her forward. She caught herself on his shoulders, hung there, breath hot on his neck. Contact lingered. Ward hummed approval. Drones swarmed closer. Her grip tightened. Not attack, hold. Feel it, the bond pulls. Elias pried her claws loose, gentle pressure on joints. She released, stepped back, eyes wide. You disarm without harm, her tail coiled. Tazun would have shattered bone. Waste of energy. He flexed his hands. Threads loosened a fraction. Adaptive. Outside, nobles hissed debates. Illith intoned warnings. Tazun drew his glaive, pointed at the ward. Vera snarled. Stand down, Archon, he obeyed, barely. Blade trembled. Elias paced again. Noted the ward's pulse pattern, sinking deeper, heartbeats merged. He disrupted it, held breath. Threads flickered. Vera noticed, approached slow. Resist, and it starves us both. Starve, he smirked. Try me. She pressed close. Body heat ward with the chill wards. Humans endure, but Vexari command. Threads tugged, forced alignment, shoulder to shoulder. Her plated skin rasped his scars. Court frenzy peaked. Tazun bellowed. The chosen defies, execute the oracle's ward. Illith recoiled, orb dimmed. Vera roared, treason, guards, seize him. Chaos exploded. Hunters clashed with Tazun's loyalists. Blades rang, drones shattered. Elias ignored it, locked eyes with Vera. Threads burned hotter, proximity sealed, she whispered. They fight for control, you unravel it. He nodded, pressed a ward seam. Found give, pushed, energy arced, threads spasmed. Vera gasped, clutched his arm, not attack. Anchor, the ward stabilized, court battle halted. Tazun knelt, glaive dropped. Illith bowed low, silence fell. Elias held still. Vera's claws dug in. Not breaking skin, holding, the quarters hummed, bond deepened, court watched, waited. Seer Matriarch Illith slammed her orb against the ward's central seam. Pain lanced through Elias' veins, threads of the oath ward constricted like barbed wire sinking to his pulse. Each heartbeat amplified the burn. Vera stiffened beside him, claws flexing involuntarily. Her breath hitched, a rare crack in her imperial mask. Elias clenched his jaw, ignored the fire. Scanned the suite's walls. Faint conduits pulsed under the polished obsidian panels. Alien tech, but patterns screamed familiarity. Power relays anchor nodes. Standard overload target. Illith chanted low. Compliance or agony, human, the ward feeds on defiance. Her voice echoed through the court, nobles leaning forward. Tazun gripped his glaive tighter, eyes gleaming with anticipation. Elias shifted his weight, felt a loose panel grate under his boot. Prison or not, every cage had junk. He knelt slow, masking the move as submission. Fingers pried the edge. A discarded power cell tumbled out, scavenged drone remnant from the earlier clash. Perfect. Threads dug deeper. Pain spiked into his ribs. Vera growled soft. Endure it or yield. Her plated shoulder pressed his, heat warring with the chill feedback. He pocketed the cell, rose. Locked eyes with Illith across the haze. Her orb flared brighter. Ward tightened again, organs twisted in sympathy. Nobles murmured approval. Tazun smirked. Elias traced the wall seams. Pulse pattern accelerated. Anchor node hid behind the third panel from the door. Exposed conduit glowed faint blue. He jammed his thumb into the seam, popped it free. Illith's chant peaked. Bind him eternal. Elias wedged the power cell against the node. Twisted wires bare with his nails. Human grip strength outmatched their delicate tools. Sparks flew. Current surged wild, the ward shrieked, threads convulsed. Half the palace ring plunged into blackout. Lights died, drones whirred to halt midair. Alarms wailed, then cut silent. Chaos erupted beyond the suite. Nobles screamed. Tazun bellowed orders into darkness. Illith's orb shattered against the floor. Elias straightened. Pain vanished. Threads hung limp, inert. Vera moved first. Her claws tapped the wall console in the gloom. Palace security codes flashed across her retinal implant, hers by bloodright, now seized in the panic. She rerouted doors, locked the ring under her private authority. Every portal snapped to her command. Elias tested the suite door. Manual release lever, crude override, alien arrogance assuming wards sufficed. He yanked it. Hinges groaned, door swung wide. Guards flanked the threshold. 6 hunters, blades drawn, eyes wide in the emergency glow strips. Protocol demanded they block him, seal the chosen. Vera stepped forward, her glare pinned them. Stand aside. The lead guard hesitated, blade trembled. Queen's protocol. Obey. Her voice sliced the dark. Doors throughout the palace hummed, rerouted hers alone. Elias walked out, shoulders squared, passed between them. Guards parted, blades lowered. One knelt. Corridor stretched dim. Nobles clustered at intersections, whispering frantic. Tazun shoved through, glaive raised. The human escapes, seize. Vera's hand clamped Elias' arm, not restraint, anchor. He walks with me. Tazun froze, court enforcer reduced to statue. Illith huddled in shadows, orb shards crunching underfoot. Elias kept pace. Felt her tension coil, not fear, calculation. The blackout bought her seconds enough to flip the network. A low hum returned. Partial power flickered on, doors stayed locked to her codes. Guards trailed at distance, protocols shattered. They reached the grand atrium. Throne platform loomed. Nobles flooded in, eyes darting. Illith staggered up, face ashen. The ward, overloaded, prophecy fractures. Vera ascended the steps, pulled Elias with her. Prophecy bends to power, witness. Tazun charged the platform, loyalists at his heels. She falters, the chosen unravels her. Elias spotted the atrium's master relay exposed in the haste of blackout repairs. Glowing hotter now, overload risk primed, he broke from Vera, dropped to one knee, ripped a loose floor grate, scavenged shrapnel from drone crash. Jammed it into the relay vents, sparks exploded. Secondary blackout hit, atrium plunged pitch, shouts cut short. Vera's silhouette moved fluid in the dark. She accessed the throne console. Final codes locked, entire palace ring hers absolute. Light stuttered back, partial. Enough to reveal Tazun on his knees, glaive planted. Loyalists disarmed by her guards. Illith prostrated, whispering defeat. Elias rose, dust shook from his hands. Manual overrides clicked open around them, doors he could breach next. Nobles knelt in waves, silence spread. Vera turned to him, claws retracted. You broke their cage with scraps. He met her gaze, no words, her plated chest rose slow. Proximity reignited, threads dormant but spark alive. Tazun bowed head. Command us, chosen, Illith echoed. The oracle yields, court held breath. Elias stepped to the throne edge, overlooked them all. Vera joined him, shoulder to shoulder. Quiet fell, absolute. Silk drones sliced through the atrium vents. Elias snapped his hand up. One drone veered into his palm, its filament wings buzzed against his skin. Poison barb glinted, aimed at his throat. He crushed the casing, exposed circuits sparked. Vera's claws tensed beside him, nobles gasped from the floor. Elias pinched the guidance node. Tiny emitter pulsed blue. He jammed his thumbnail into its port, overrode the frequency lock. Signal reversed. Drone's path data flooded back, tracers lit in his mind. Nest coordinates locked, House Krelith spire lower rings. Trace complete, he said, flat. Vera's plated eyes narrowed. Source, Krelith, deploy now. Drones swarmed thicker. 10 more pierced the light grid. Barbs dripped venom, neurotox that felled Vera's line in hours. Elias vaulted the throne edge. Grabbed a second drone midair, twisted its emitter. Fed the signal louder, Nest pinged overload. Krelith handlers would feel it. Panic, guards lunged. Too slow, drones dodged, zeroed on Elias. He rolled under a noble's dais, snagged a third drone's tail filament, yanked it down. Boot crushed its core, signal chained, Nest map sharpened. Vera's voice cut the chaos. Purge team, silent strike. Krelith spire, no survivors. Her console hissed, orders beamed, no council vote, throne law bent. Archon Tazun surged from his kneel, glaive ignited. Treachery, the pet maps our fall, he fired. Plasma bolt scorched Elias' shoulder, flesh seared. Elias dropped low, pain sharpened focus. He traced the bolt's arc, relay vents above, primed from blackout residue. Tazun charged, loyalists rose behind. Vera's roar froze them. Stand down, Archon, restraint holds. Tazun ignored, second bolt lanced. Elias sidestepped, caught the drone swarm's lead path. Redirected his captured emitter. Drones veered, collided into Tazun's path. Explosions peppered his armor, silk filaments gummed his joints. Elias rose, Nest signal peaked. Krelith feeds screamed interference. Vera's guards swarmed the atrium, locked the exits. Tazun staggered. Glaive swung wild. The human poisons us all? He lunged at Elias. Blade hummed inches from his chest. Elias ducked, grabbed Tazun's wrist bracer, twisted the command crest free, neural lock clicked open under pressure, crest in hand. Tazun's arm went slack. Implant feedback looped. Archon dropped to knees, eyes wide. Vera stepped forward, claws extended. She ripped the final crest from his chest plate. Sparks flew. Command revoked, publicly, nobles whispered. Illith's tendrils curled tight. Purge confirm pinged Vera's console. Krelith spire silent. Elias released the emitter. Drone husk crumbled, quiet spread. Drone's remnants drifted like ash. Vera turned to him, shoulder brushed his, heat lingered. Tazun bowed head, crest shattered at her feet. Court held breath. Elias scanned the vents, clear. One drone filament twitched on the floor, he crushed it. Silence deepened. Absolute. Queen Vera's claws snapped shut around Elias' throat. She yanked him forward. The court gasped. Full assembly packed the grand vault. Nobles in tiered thrones, Illith's tendrils quivering on her dais, Tazun chained at the base. Vera's voice boomed. Binding rite commences, witness. Biometric leads snaked from the harness core, probed his skin. Neural pricks fired, mapping pulse, synapses, intent. The dominance harness hummed alive. Court screens flickered to life, projected his vitals, heart steady, resistance null. Vera's eyes locked on his. Submit, chosen, bind to me. One lead inverted, carried his signal back. Vera's throne console sparked, she snarled. Compliance spike, good. His pulse now echoed hers. He pushed, accessed palace net. Right amplifiers kicked in, turned the harness into palace-wide relay. Every noble display glitched. Court froze, Illith's voice cracked. Prophecy binds unbroken. Rival House Krelith's assassination logs, pulled from Tazun's shattered crest. Data burst, timestamps, bolt trajectories, purge codes, screens blazed. Krelith's spymaster's face filled every display. Strike on Vera confirmed. Human asset eliminates variable. Votes auto-triggered. Imperial law, exposure demand sanction poll, house banners lit red. Krelith's tally plummeted. Elias held the relay open, pumped more logs, drone swarm vectors, Tazun's override pings, court erupted. Traitors. Telemetry looped empire-wide. Outer spires pinged receipt. Votes cascaded, Krelith exiled, assets seized. Immediate, Illith slammed her staff. Seer vision clouds, human fractures prophecy. Vera raised a claw, silence fell, one breath. Elias felt the harness heat, his skin unmarked, court eyes bored into him, uncertainty hung. Vera stepped closer, her breath ghosted his neck. Chosen turns blade inward. Harness core glowed violet, etched her sigil into his chest plate, not skin overlay. Rite complete, Elias Cade, royal consort asset. Human marker nullifies prior claims. No threat stirred. Relay cooled, harness dormant, quiet deepened. Absolute. Queen Vera's claw clamped Elias' shoulder. She yanked him from the court dais. Nobles parted like spilled ink. Her stride dragged him into the vault corridor. Shadowed arches loomed. Violet lumens flickered overhead. Guards, Vera snarled. Stand down, hold distance, no pursuit. The enforcers halted. Claws scraped stone. They formed a cordon 50 paces back. Eyes gleamed in the gloom. Elias twisted against her grip. His free hand brushed the harness sigil. Still warm. He scanned the corridor. Arched vaults converged on a massive gate ahead. Seamless alloy, no seams visible, no panels. Runes pulsed faint crimson along its frame. Vera shoved him forward. The Right's vault, your test chosen. Enter, prove loyalty. He halted, faced her. 1 minute, unmonitored. Her tendrils flared. Insolence, alone. Elia's locked eyes. No guards, no feeds. Shut the door behind us. Archon Tazun's roar echoed from the cordon. Majesty, he schemes. Vera's gaze bored into him. Claws flexed, then retracted. She signaled the guards. Comply. Elias stepped to the gate. Palms slammed the activation rune. The slab groaned open. Inner vault yawned black. He crossed the threshold. Vera followed. The gate sealed with a hydraulic hiss. Darkness swallowed them. No lumens activated. Air hummed with standby power. Elias' boots echoed on grated floor. He extended hands. Fingertips traced the inner seal. Cold alloy. Micro-vibrations pulsed under skin. Vera's silhouette bulked behind him. The failsafe activates in 90 seconds. Lethal discharge. Empire core beyond. Touch nothing. Elias ignored her. Fingers spidered across the gates in her frame. He cataloged textures, smooth planes, subtle ridges, a hairline seam at knee height. He knelt. Nails pried, no give, pulse steady. He exhaled. Mapped by pressure points. Human standard, blind interface protocols, Navy drills, zero-vis ops. Alien tech mimicked human failsafes. Predictable, Vera shifted. You delay death. Fingertips found the first node, buried under a haptic lock. He rotated wrist. Felt the tumbler click. Silent. No alarms, second node, offset 3 inches. Vibration pattern shifted. He pressed thumb. Sequence aligned. Her breath hissed close. Impossible, sear locked. Third node, deep recess. He wedged knuckle, twisted counterclockwise. Failsafe hummed louder. Crimson runes outside would flare now if watched. But no watchers. Elias rose, traced the main panel, palm pressed center, gate shuttered. Inner lights bloomed green. Failsafe icon flatlined on a hidden display. Only he felt the relay die. Vault core exposed, a nexus chamber, crystal conduits snaked walls. Central obelisk throbbed Empire data flow, unsecured, Vera lunged, claws raked his harness. You breached the heart, he sidestepped, grabbed her wrist, locked it, human grip strength, augmented by leverage. She froze, done. Elias released, stepped to obelisk. Fingers danced over base runes, no tools, pure tactile override, conduits dimmed, power rerouted. Vault defenses inverted, now they protected him. She recoiled, tendrils coiled tight. What have you done? He turned. Faced her in the green glow. Controls yours again, but failsafe, gone, permanent. Vera's eyes widened, scanned the obelisk, readout scrolled, her claws trembled. Human hands, unchain the core. Elias nodded once, no explanation. He moved to a side console. Touched a secondary lock, felt the Queen's access matrix. Empire doctrine bound it to her sigil. He overlaid his harness link. Silent sync, her voice dropped. You rewrite my throne's vault without rights. He straightened. Power thrummed underfoot, full access. New category, manual dominion. No signals, no hacks. Flesh and instinct cracked alien engineering. Corridor alarms stayed mute. Guards oblivious. Vera circled him. Slow, predatory. Chosen claims the heart, my empire's pulse in your grasp. Elias met her stare. Test passed. She halted inches away. Claws hovered at his chest. Sigil glowed between them, heat built, not threat, something deeper. Pulse synced again, her breath quickened. He held ground, no retreat. The vault hummed quiet, conduits stabilized, no threats stirred. Vera's claw brushed his jaw, traced down, lingered on harness. You unmake my chains, yet wear my mark. Elias felt the shift, power imbalance cracked, her eyes searched his, vulnerability flickered, first time, silence stretched. One beat, her tendrils relaxed fraction. He broke it, opened the gate. She triggered the rune, slab parted, green light spilled into corridor, guards snapped to attention, Tazun pushed forward. Majesty, Vera raised claw, stand. Elias strode out, harness hummed dormant, vault secured behind, court feeds pinged. Nobles stirred beyond arches. Illith's staff tapped distant stone, Vera matched his pace. Claw grazed his arm, possessive. The core yields to you, doctrine must evolve. He scanned ahead, no new threats, empire bent but not broken. Tazun blocked the archway, chains gone. Claws flexed. He defiles the vault, execute, Vera's roar cut him. Silence, Archon, the chosen masters what you cannot. Tazun's mandibles clicked, glare fixed on Elias. Human trickery. Elias halted, sized him, Archon's bulk towered, but predictable, doctrine-bound. Step aside. Tazun lunged, fist arced for Elias' head. Elias dropped low, human agility, rolled under, came up behind, elbow drove into knee joint, crack echoed. Tazun buckled, roared, Elias pivoted, harness sigil flared. He slapped Tazun's collar node, tactile override. Archon's implants locked, muscles seized. Tazun collapsed, face to stone, paralyzed, guards froze, weapons half-drawn. Vera's laugh echoed low. You unmake my enforcer by touch. Elias stepped over Tazun. Standard hold. Illith emerged from shadows, staff raised. Prophecy fractures, human severs the weave. Tendrils whipped. Oracle energy crackled. Elias dodged, felt the discharge singe air. He closed distance. Grabbed staff mid-swing, twisted. Wood snapped. Illith staggered, eyes widened. Impossible, right sealed. He pressed harness to her chest plate. Sigil synced, her visions blanked. Implants whited out, she slumped, tendrils limp. Guards backed away, no orders came. Vera watched, breath synced to his. You dismantle my court piece by piece. Elias faced her. Your throne holds. If you adapt. Nobles gathered at corridor end, whispers cascaded, displays updated. Vault status, human-linked, quiet fell, one breath. Vera's claw cupped his neck, pulled close, lips brushed ear. Intimacy redefines control, you teach this. Heat surged, not dominance, bond. He held still, pulse steady, corridor lumens dimmed, empire waited. Elias scanned the assembly, no move stirred, power shifted. Vertical, absolute, but one shadow lingered. Outer spires pinged, faint descent. Vera tensed. Dissenters rally, he nodded. Handle it. She signaled guards. Secure the Archon, bind the seer. Enforcers moved, dragged bodies away. Elias walked beside her, toward throne hall, pacing slowed. Her stride matched his, claw lingered on arm. No words, vault's green afterglow faded. Silence wrapped them. Uncertainty hummed, her eyes flicked to him, question unasked. One beat, her tendrils brushed his hand, soft. Elias felt the pull, autonomy intact, yet drawn, quiet deepened. Then alarms wailed, outer spires breached, rebels stormed inner gates, Vera whirled. They challenged the right. Elias cracked knuckles. No, he tapped harness, vault core linked, Empire network flexed. New command pulsed, conduits rerouted, rebel overrides null, spires went dark, feeds cut, rebels halted, implants fried, court displays confirmed. Descent crushed, silent, Vera stared. You command the veins. Elias met her gaze. Yours now. She stepped closer, claws framed his face. Ours, pulse thundered, bond sealed, silence fell, absolute. Elias gripped the vault gate's release lever, twisted hard, metal groaned. Ancient hinges parted. No alarms triggered. He stepped inside first. Cool air hit his face. Bioluminescent veins pulsed along walls. Throne network core hummed ahead. A fist-sized relay orb suspended in restraint fields. Noble council voices echoed from the hall beyond. Descent boiled. The human defiles the right, one snarled. Vera's claw touched his shoulder, steady. Root relay, claim it. Elias advanced, scanned the pedestal. Restraint fields flickered, alien tech layered with overrides, digital locks layered deep, but base level manual. Human standard toggle etched in faded script. Aliens overlooked it, claws too blunt, tendrils too coarse. He reached. Fingers precise, flipped the toggle, single motion. Fields collapsed, orb dropped into his palm, warm, thrumming. Network surged through his harness link. Every conduit in the Empire lit up. Root access granted. Council shouts peeked outside. Seize him, the throne bleeds. Bodyguards lunged. Vera's enforcers blocked. Claws clashed, but Elias held the orb, squeezed once. Relay synced. His command now, Vera leaned in, voice low. Freeze the houses. He nodded, pushed the pulse. One override cascaded, every noble fleet locked. Engines stalled mid-void, weapons safed. Navigators blind, silence crashed, council froze, command crests on their chests dimmed. Inert, bodyguards staggered, authorization revoked. Weapons dropped from nerveless claws. Archon Tazun burst through guards, chained but raging. Impossible, the veins reject intruders. Seer Matriarch Illith twisted in bonds behind him, eyes wide. Prophecy fractures, the chosen unravels us. Elias turned the orb in his hand. Felt their stares, power thrummed absolute. No more shadows, no descent pings. Vera stepped forward, tendrils extended, wrapped his wrist, not restraint, anchor, speak your yield. Nobles knelt, one by one, crests dark, fleets frozen, empire hers, through him, Tazun lunged. Chain snapped taut. Fear binds, not this. Elias pulsed the orb, Archon's implant sparked, he dropped, convulsing, silent, Illith whispered, the stars rewrite. Her tendrils stilled, council head bowed lowest. Royal lockout holds, all houses submit. Vera's gaze locked on Elias, heat built, bond pulled taut. He set the orb on the pedestal, locked it manual, his toggle only. She closed distance. Claws framed his jaw, pulled close, lips soft ridges brushed his. Control redefined, pulse roared, Empire waited. Silence sealed it.